Hello, my name is William. And you are now watching Cookie Monster's Clues. A brand new show with the same formula as another legendary nostalgic cartoon, Blue's Clues.
Hello everyone. My name is Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. I like eating cookies, and I play with my red friend, Elmo. Welcome to my spin-off series, Cookie Monster's Clues.
And before we get started with today's game, it's important for you to know that Cookie Monster will be hiding clues around the house, just like in Blue's Clues. The clues will look like this. Each time we find a clue, we put them in our handy-dandy notebook, and we'll get closer and closer to the special message.
Today, I want to watch a specific cartoon on the television. But you and William must play my game in order to figure out what it is. Without further ado, I will now hide the clues.
It's important that we have everything we need for today's episode of Cookie Monster's Clues. Do you remember what the most important thing we need is? Our handy-dandy
notebook.
And I know just where we can find our handy-dandy notebook. Let's head to the kitchen to meet our imaginary friend, Mr. Table.
Oh, hi William. What brings you here this fine afternoon?
Would you happen to know where my handy-dandy notebook is? I'm playing a round of Cookie Monster's Clues.
Why yes I would. It's inside the cabinets.
Very well then. Thanks for your help, Mr. Table. So now that we've explained the rules, and found our handy-dandy notebook, what are we waiting for? Let's go look for the 3 clues.
Psst, don't tell William, but my first clue will be hidden behind one of these 3 cartoon logos. Well, my job here is done.
Here we are in the secondary living room, where I have printed a logo of my favorite cartoon programs.
A clue.
Really? Where is it?
On the Nick logo.
On the Nick logo? The Nick logo must be our first clue. And do you remember where we write down our clues? In our handy-dandy
notebook.
Notebook, right. So since our first clue is a Nick logo, we must draw the Nick logo in said notebook. First we'll draw an N, an I, a C, and then a K. So, our first clue that we've found is the Nick logo. What do you think this means? We'll have to find the next 2 clues to find out what Cookie Monster wants to watch.
Mail time.
Guys, the mail is here. Here's the mail, it never fails, it makes me want to wag my tail, when it comes I want to wail. May-a-a-a-a-ale. What could be inside the mail today? It's a piece of paper, containing the letters J and R. But what's this pebble doing in the way?
A clue.
You found the second clue? Where is it?
Below the J and the R.
Right, below the J and the R. So, our second clue must be the letters J and R. And you know where we write down our clues. In our handy-dandy
notebook.
Notebook, right. First, the J. Then, the R. So what was our first clue that we found?
The Nick logo.
Right, the Nick logo. And our second clue is J, R. This isn't really adding up. I guess we better find the last clue to find out what Cookie Monster wants to watch. Back inside we go.
Welcome to my bedroom. As you can see, I have a collection of big shapes and small shapes on my wall. Now, don't tell William, but my final clue will be hidden behind one of the shapes. Well, my job here is done.
Have you seen the last clue?
Yes.
Really? Where do you see it?
On the little circle.
You're right. It is on the little circle. A little circle must be our last clue. Time to write it down on our handy-dandy
notebook.
Notebook, right. First we'll draw the outline of the circle. And then we fill it in. There's our little circle. Hey, we have all 3 clues. Do you know what that means? We get to go downstairs and sit in our
Thinking chair.
thinking chair, right?
Oh, welcome back, William. Have you finished finding the 3 clues?
You bet I have. Which means, it's time to think. Now that we're in our thinking chair, let's get thinking. So, we are trying to figure out what Cookie Monster wants to watch. And our clues are the Nick logo, the letters J and R, and a little circle. Let's imagine that the little circle was a period. We place it beside the letters J and R, then the JR becomes an abbreviated word. But what begins with J and ends with R? Oh, I know, Junior. Nick. Junior. Nick Junior. Nick Junior. Is that what you want to watch, Cookie Monster? Nick Junior?
Correct, I in fact want to watch Nick Jr. Congratulations, you've just solved Cookie Monster's clues.
We just figured out Cookie Monster's clues. We just figured out Cookie Monster's clues, 'cause we're really smart. But the day's not done just yet. We still have time for one more song. Thanks for doing your part, you sure are smart. When it's me, and you, and Cookie Monster too, we can do anything that we wanna do.
Thanks for playing, and see you real soon.